Have you ever noticed how, over time, some behaviors can push the people you love away without you even realizing it? You might be making silent mistakes that are changing your own life and your relationships. But don't worry, today I'm going to reveal 10 common behaviors that most people only notice too late, and that you need to know before it's too late. Stay with me, because the last two will really make you rethink the way you live your life. You may have already felt ignored or misunderstood by your friends, your children, or even yourself. It's possible that you're not aware of these 10 mistakes, especially if you are over 70. Today I'm going to reveal what they are. The aging process can be compared to a house that has withstood the test of time. At first, everything seems solid, functional, and well-maintained. But as years go by, small cracks appear, a door that doesn't close properly, a leaking pipe, or stains on the wall that we ignore. Over time, these flaws become so normal that we barely notice how much they bother others. Similarly, as we age, our behaviors also change. Without realizing it, we adopt unpleasant habits. These habits not only irritate the people around us, but also make us feel emotionally distant, as if our personality is slowly wearing away. Until one day, we notice that we have become exactly the person we once vowed never to be. This video will show 10 shocking yet common behaviors that we adopt as we age, often without noticing. And I'm not talking about wrinkles or physical problems, but rather behaviors we justify with phrases like, "I'm old," or "I've always been like this." These habits not only irritate us, but can also turn us into our worst version. The last two behaviors will make you reflect deeply on how you've been approaching this stage of life. That's why I encourage you to stay until the end. These truths aren't for the weak, but they are essential to improving your quality of life and your relationships. If you like this video, comment with the number 1. If you don't, comment with 0, so I can improve and bring even more relevant content for you. Now let's begin. Poor personal hygiene is a common issue among older adults. It can occur for various reasons. Physical difficulties, such as chronic pain or fatigue, make daily tasks challenging. In addition, some older people experience a lack of motivation due to depression, loneliness, or even the belief that they no longer need to care about their appearance. This can result in behaviors such as bathing less frequently, not changing clothes regularly, or not brushing teeth properly. This kind of neglect leads to several problems. Body odor is the most noticeable effect and can be unpleasant both for the person and those around them. A messy appearance, dirty or poorly maintained clothes also gives a negative impression. Inadequate hygiene increases the risk of infections, especially for those with pre-existing conditions or reduced mobility. Taking care of hygiene is not just a matter of aesthetics, but also of health and well-being. Good hygiene is essential for emotional and physical health, as well as for providing a sense of autonomy. That's why it's important for both older adults and their caregivers to pay attention to this issue. In some cases, professional health intervention or caregiver support may be necessary to ensure hygiene habits are maintained. As the years go by, it's also easy to develop the habit of constant complaining. What starts as a mild critique can turn into daily dissatisfaction. We begin to criticize the government, the weather, technology, and even today's youth. Without realizing it, we complain about everything. This behavior not only affects our well-being, but also that of the people around us. Our negativity can tire or even push away those who listen to us, especially children, grandchildren, and younger friends. Constant complaining creates a heavy environment that makes people avoid us. It's understandable that with age, our life experiences make us more critical. However, not everything deserves criticism. Often, it's better to accept what we cannot change and focus on the positive. This strengthens our mental health and also improves our relationships. Many older people feel the need to lead conversations because they have wisdom and valuable stories to share. However, dominating the dialogue can harm our relationships with younger generations. When we interrupt others, impose our opinions, or don't allow them to speak, we send the message that we don't care about what they have to say. This can frustrate children, grandchildren, and younger friends, pushing them away. True communication is not a monologue, but a dialogue. Asking questions and showing genuine interest creates an atmosphere of respect and connection. Additionally, it enriches us as we learn to value the new ideas brought by younger generations. Allowing conversation to flow naturally helps strengthen bonds and interpersonal relationships, making interaction lighter and more enjoyable. One of the biggest mistakes is believing respect should be demanded just because of age. As we get older, we may fall into the trap of thinking it is automatically owed to us. In many cultures, old age is associated with wisdom and authority, but respect is not based solely on years lived. It comes from the way we treat others and how we behave. Demanding respect without giving it in return creates tension, especially within families. Younger people may feel pressured or misunderstood when relationships are unbalanced. Respect is earned by listening to others, treating them with dignity, and showing reciprocity. We need to show children, friends, and grandchildren that we respect their opinions and life paths if we want them to respect us in return. The affection and consideration we want can be achieved by maintaining an open and understanding attitude. As the years pass, it's also common to fall into the trap of minimizing others' experiences, especially those of younger generations. When we accumulate decades of experience and overcome many challenges, it may seem easy to consider others' problems as trivial. But this behavior seriously harms relationships. Minimizing others' feelings denies them the chance to express themselves and feel understood. Making someone feel that their concerns are too small can lead to frustration, misunderstanding, and distance. It's important to remember that although our experiences are valuable, each stage of life brings its own challenges. What seems insignificant to us can be huge for someone else. Validating feelings strengthens bonds and creates an environment of respect and support. It's not uncommon for older people to criticize the youth too much, whether for their choices, lifestyle, or values. Often, this criticism is motivated by the desire to teach, avoid mistakes, or share wisdom, but the effect is the opposite. Constant criticism generates tension, distrust, and resentment, building walls between generations. It's important to remember that each generation faces unique challenges and circumstances. Just as we learned from our mistakes in the past, today's youth are finding their own path. The best we can do is show patience and offer advice when asked. Intergenerational relationships thrive when we cultivate mutual respect and understanding, instead of criticism and condemnation. Supporting instead of judging creates closeness, trust, and genuine affection. Another very common mistake is isolation. Many older people withdraw, believing they are no longer needed or feel they don't fit into family conversations and routines. This withdrawal can start subtly. We decline invitations, avoid social gatherings, or prefer silence over interaction. Over time, isolation weakens not only emotional bonds, but also mental and emotional health. Studies show that loneliness can be as harmful as physical illnesses, accelerating cognitive decline and increasing the risk of depression. Staying socially active, cultivating friendships, and being open to new experiences help preserve joy and vitality. When we participate in community life, we not only receive affection, but also offer our wisdom and presence in a meaningful way. Finally, perhaps the most striking mistake is losing the ability to dream. Many believe that upon reaching old age, there's no room for new goals or achievements. However, giving up on dreams is like letting life lose its colors. Dreaming is not a privilege of youth, but an essential fuel at any age. Setting new goals, learning something different, planning a trip, or even cultivating a hobby can bring meaning and excitement to everyday life. Old age does not have to be synonymous with stagnation. It can be a period of discovery and renewal. When we nurture dreams, we transmit vitality to those around us and show that living fully is possible until the very last day. Aging with dignity means learning from mistakes, but also keeping the flame of hope and motivation alive. Now I want to know from you, which of these behaviors do you identify with most, or have you noticed in someone close to you? Dream. Comment below because your experience might help others see what they may be overlooking. And if you want to continue learning how to live better, improve your relationships, and age with dignity, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any video that could transform your life and the lives of those you love.